Good evening. I'm Jesha Miller, petitioner of the Constitution's checks and balances. As you will see here, to the President of the United States, who has been in office coming up to nearly closely to a year now. There you see the transfer of power. Now, the President has concealed this. The checks and balances mean that there is corruption in a branch of government which must be checked. That's what the checks and balances are, an essential part of the Constitution, as I present to you the definition of essential. Essential means absolutely necessary. I petition these checks and balances, which by definition means absolutely necessary. Oh, and takes precedence over all matters. You cannot allow corruption in the judicial branch of government and not address it. It's extremely important, of which, as I said, this has been petitioned to the President of the United States, who has a duty. These are imposed obligations. And then what is helping him do this is, as I did today, this day, you can see the text message here, to the local media, Channel 14, Channel 25, and Channel 44. Those would be Celeste King, Channel 14, Bob Freeman, Channel 25, and Blaine Pinterest, Channel 44. This is the local media. Press conference at 10 a.m. for local media. Judicial branch officials corrupt. Now this is exposing corruption by them not covering this story, which is major. We're talking about the United States Supreme Court, of which the local media will not give no coverage. That's concealment. And why? Because I am empowered to stop inequality, social injustice, and police brutality. Those are the racist acts of America, of which I am empowered to stop, but the media is concealing it from the public. As you see, they not only got the emails, this is from my phone, of which I made phone calls calling the media, and they acknowledged that they received the emails concerning government corruption. That's 14 News, 44 News, Blaine. You got Channel 25, Warren Corf, but Bob Freeman is the assignment editor. Then, as I said, you got Channel 14 News, Celeste King is the assignment editor. And it is these assignment editors that are denying my First Amendment right to speech press. You see, when you got something to say and they're exposing corruption and they want to preach on it, but I have to. See what I'm saying? This is what they're doing, concealing it from the American public. Keep chaos and all this other stuff going. Now, as I said, transparency, as you will see, is part of this petition to the President. In politics, transparency is used as a means of holding public officials accountable and fighting corruption. What I'm just saying, corruption. When you impose slavery prohibited by the 13th and the 14th Amendments, that's the right to freedom. They are covering up government denying our right to freedom. This is major. Now, in transparency is used as a means of holding public officials accountable and fighting corruption. Transparency is a fundamental element of abolishing corruption. transparency government is important to local governments and the communities they serve because corruption threatens the good governance, leads to the misallocation of resources. You know, we talking about the money, as I'm owed $6.75 billion by the Treasury, Janet Yellen, who has not paid a penny, disbursed nothing. That's not their money. That's we the people's public money that we send in $3 trillion every year. But they not trying to pay us when they owe us. Can you dig it? Those are criminal acts. Title 18, Section 241, conspiracy to deny rights and oppress. By law, I'm a billionaire. And why? Because they impose slavery prohibited by the 13th Amendment. These are all violations of the law, of which what they are doing. Now, let me put the transparency back where it goes. As for the president, and I'm the petitioner of the checks and balances, when an entire branch is corrupt, we're talking about the entire branch. This is what the public don't know, and why? The media is covering it up. It can't be a government cover-up without the media covering it up. Now, take immediate action, as President Biden has been petitioned, which takes precedence over all matters. Now, the entire judicial branch of government is corrupt, and the president ain't saying, ain't doing nothing, and he been petitioned for this. This is it takes precedence over all matters. This is his number one duty under Article 2, Section 3 of the Constitution, to faithfully see to it that the federal laws are executed, and he violates oath of office to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution's checks and balances. This is what he's supposed to be defending. When I come at you, he's supposed to be by my side. As the NFL, you got my back? No, he ain't got my back. He's continuing oppression. He's continuing inequality of what he's continuing injustice. This is what the president is doing by failing to address his number one duty, which takes precedence over all matters, and violates oath and take immediate as imposing obligations. He has to uphold the integrity of the Constitution, or he can't be the president of a free people. That's what his book says. I'm just telling you what it says. Oh, wait a minute. That's the law of the land, the supreme law of the land. He can't do that. And the media is covering this up. Hey, as I filed those indictments in the federal court, law enforcement needs to execute those indictments, and this shows that it is imperative that they execute their duty. This is their part in the Constitution. Like I said, it's his number one duty. Now, the President of the United States has this, just like they acknowledge the emails. As you can see, by certified mail. Hello, get that number up there so that you can see it. That's to the President of the United States, which he received February the 9th, 2021. This is January 2022. The President has concealed this from the public, which is a criminal act. Now, here is the second one. To the President of the United States. Get that number, because the President has to be held accountable for that. That's your number one duty. You've been notified twice on this, countless emails, and nothing has been done. The Senator Todd Young has been petitioned to take this to the floor. Ain't nothing been done. This is a government cover-up. These are criminals, as I said. Now, The United States Attorney General Merrick Garland received the Constitution's checks and balances. They must be checked for corruption and abuse of power, imposing slavery, denying the right to speech, press, our First Amendment, so that they are not exposed for this. Once again, here's your boy, U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland, certified mail. They have this and they know. This one here he received in May 10th, 2021. The one before that was June 21st, 2021. At this point in time, the President of the United States must immediately address the Constitution checks and balances. Janet Yellen received this certified mail also. Yeah, to disperse. There it is, filed in the courts. Yep. They ain't no better than Trump. A little bit slicker. He just did his out in front. They doing theirs undercover. Has to be brought to light so it comes to fruition, so that we stop inequality, police brutality. I'm just saying, this is number one duty. He must address this immediately, and I must be paid immediately. Thank you.